Good morning, reseller family. It's Tina here with reseller mom Lucy. And today we're going to be talking about some creative ways to generate quick, easy cash for your Q4 spending, or talk about possibly getting loans for Q4 spending, as well as touch upon being ASD ready for those of you who are coming out to ASD. So welcome. Hi, Lucy.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. I think I got everything live over on my other screen, and we do have some questions we can knock out first. So, did you want to talk about ASD first, or knock out some easy questions first?
I think we'll talk about ASD first because it's kind of the quickest, and not everyone's going to ASD. So we'll get that out of the way so we can jump into the good stuff. So, for those of you who are already planning on coming out to Las Vegas to ASD, as we've said before, pack comfortable clothes. You can look professional, but be comfortable. And it is still warm here in Las Vegas, and it is slightly under 100 degrees. And we have had some rain because it is our monsoon season out here in the desert. And so, for those of you who are not used to that kind of warm weather, you're going to regret not having shorts and a t-shirt, and bring a bathing suit if you think you're going to enjoy the hotel pool. Another thing is make sure you either pack with you, have your taxi cab driver, whatever, take you to a Walgreens or a CVS and get snacks and waters and drinks for your room, because the hotels get really expensive. And every year that we've sat down with those of you that attend ASD when we have our meetups, that is the one thing people complain about is, oh my God, a bottle of water is whatever it is, $3 or $4. It can add up for silly expenses like that. And
So,
that's just for coming here in your room. But going to ASD, I'll let you cover that, Lucy, since you are the expert, since you travel here.
yes, I would. I mean, I drink quite a bit of water, and the Las Vegas water is awful from the tap. So, you're going to be buying bottled water, and if you can drink 4 or 5 bottles of water every day, and they're $4 a pop, that could be very, very expensive. So, find an alternative. I do love that the Starbucks will give you filtered water, so that is a good thing to always grab a big thing of ice, like heavy on the ice water as you're coming and going into ASD. There is a Starbucks. I can't remember which place it's by. Is it by South? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's definitely on the downstairs one, and I do feel like it's by South Hall, because I know I do most of our shopping will be in the West Hall. Intense.
There are what do you call them, like talks and speeches and learning things that you can sign up for and go to. Some are really good. I find that for people who've been selling for a long time, a lot of it's stuff we already know. So
And
I don't tend to
yeah. The
go
first
to
two
them.
years I went to ASD as a new seller, I used to be a sponge and go to all those classrooms. And for me, it
Mhm.
was like, oh, this is good stuff. So if you're new, you will like it. And they're free. Most of them are free. You will get
Mhm.
your ASD book if you did not already receive one, or an email, and it lays out every single day who is talking, where they're talking. And when you see things like S and W and C, it's the West Hall, the Central Hall, the South Hall, and there's big, big signs that let you know that you are at the West Hall or the Central Hall. So when you're looking at those classes on the board, and it might say like CH or SH for, that's what those acronyms are for. So you don't feel so lost or turned around, because that can be confusing.
Yes.
Also, when you're looking in your catalog, if there's a vendor you're wanting to see in the catalog, it might say something like WH143689. And what that translates to is that it lets you know that it's, like the WH would be West Hall. And then all those series of numbers is what booth they're at. Now,
Yep.
these booths don't have these numbers that are so easily read, but up above you, on the ceiling, are giant flags on each row that will say like 1000 through 1500. So at least your vendor will be on that row. If you see the numbers, they're usually on the floor where you're walking in front of the booth. but sometimes that's not easy to see or find. So at least if you see your big flag above you and you're looking for that particular vendor on the correct haul, you will end up finding them on that row. So that's one of my little tidbits, because people often get so lost and turned around at ASD, and you're like, where's left, where's right, where's west?
There are electric Teslas that do the underground tunnels now and will take you to the different halls, which is kind of nice and fun.
Super
And then,
cool.
yeah, they're pretty cool. For packing, this is what I'm packing work related. A pen. I usually grab a couple pens because I will lose a couple
Is
pens.
that why you stole my pen at the
I
last
know. I
ASD?
stole her pen and then I lost it. I
She
feel so
did.
bad. I
Stole
owe
it
Tina.
and lost it.
I owe you a pen. Uh, Business cards so that I can hand them out, because they will ask, who do we email? How can we get in contact with you? I do not enter any of the free drawings for garbage there, because that just is going to get me on spam. I don't ever do that in life. I only hand it out to people who I do want to make contact with. It's nice to have business cards. I do have my reseller permit on me and a purchasing card. So if you want to make a purchase there, I have my permit ready to go. I have a couple copies always in my wallet, and my whatever card you want to bring. And I am leaving one in the office for my folks here. So if they need to go get anything while I am out of town, they have a card. And then I'm just bringing one credit card and probably just like my bank debit card as a backup if I do need to make a purchase. When you're there, you keep track of all your purchases because it will be a write-off. So you'll want to keep track of, if you go get some food or Starbucks or whatever work expense. And don't ask me if meals are expensed or not. I don't remember all the changes. I just know I keep track of it all and then let my CPA deal with that. If I can write it off, great. If not, I don't.
And for those that don't remember to bring your reseller permit, don't worry about it. I have never once gone to an ASD with mine ever, because I just don't think about it. And it's never prevented me from making a purchase. Is it smart and professional to bring it? You bet. But as you guys know, with me and Lucy, I tend to just shoot by the, hip. Is that the expression? And Lucy's just super structured. And so it's a great a balance. But, don't be afraid if you forgot it. You can still make the
Yeah, it's
order.
not a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker. And then that's why I mention it, because sometimes people will come here and have packed and they're like, oh no, I forgot this. It's okay. It'll work out. But definitely bring your credit card that you're going to be shopping with. You definitely want that.
The other thing I will say is I am bringing some cash because they have some cash and carry. So Tina and I, we will go to our favorite vendors and then like the regular wholesale vendor section. I don't think we ever really go to the CBD because that's not what we want to do. And there's nothing really there for us for reselling. And the international has been gutted just with the rates of shipping internationally. And we don't I'm not going to buy a whole container full of stuff from another country. So we kind of skip over that, but we will go to the cash and carry kind of towards the end of the day or the end of the trip. And that is all cash and carry. And there I will get little trinkets for whatever I'm looking for. If I'm looking for Christmas gifts or whatnot, it's mostly like jewelry,
Yeah,
handbags.
cash and carry, yeah, it's mostly jewelry, purses, keychains, like stuff girls like more than the guys. But hey, guys, you can get your wife or your girlfriend something.
Yeah. So if you're needing to bring your wife home like a little something and you want to, they have everything from like a couple dollars on up to like graded diamonds for buku dollars. But I will usually get the ladies in the office just something around the $5 mark. And then I have picked up Christmas gifts in the fall, just anything that catches my eye. It's kind of nice to go there, but it is all cash. Like they will,
Yeah.
I don't think any of them really take a card at all.
Maybe the diamond people do. And then the clothing section, they will usually
Oh,
sell
that's true.
clothes on the last day, and there are men and women clothes there. So it's not a cash and carry through the whole show, but on the
Mhm.
last day, a lot of these booths, they don't want to pack up their stuff and take it back with them or pay to have it shipped back. So you can usually kind of just shop and buy a shirt, buy a purse. So that section kind of turns into a cash and carry. And then for those who feel so inclined to want to buy an entire booth,
Yeah.
you will often see signs on a booth when you're walking through the show that says this booth is sold. That does not mean that you can't shop with them still to buy things to sell. It just means that all of the items they have on display for you to look at and shop with them, that they've sold just those there at the show. Because on the last day, the people who have bought the entire booth come and pack it up, box it up, because the booth does not box up and pack up that stuff for you. You have to come and pack up that entire booth and take it out of the showroom yourself. So keep that in mind for those that are wanting to buy the booth. And
Now,
one more thing I want to mention about booths, sorry, Lucy,
I
is
got
that
one more thing too.
is that when you are shopping a vendor's booth, they usually don't bring all the things they have for sale. So don't discount a booth that maybe looks like, oh, they don't have much. They're just trying to give you an idea of like, okay, we sell party goods, because you see, party gift bags and birthday plates and some streamers, and maybe you're looking and they don't have the kind of gift bag that you want. That doesn't mean that they don't have it. They can't bring all the things. So feel free to go in there and talk with them and say, hey, do you have a catalog or a website, whatever it is you want to ask.
Some of the booths will part out what's in the booth instead of selling the entire booth. And I have picked up, I have like some really pretty ornate fruit bowls at home that I got at an ASD. And last time I got my kids a little Japanese rice bowl with the chopsticks and stuff. And so, if you want to do that too, those are usually either cash or card, could be either or. And then if you're flying back, real quick tip, if you are, I'm only bringing one bag, because if I have enough stuff extra, I will go to the Home Depot and get a box and just box up anything like that and have that as a second bag. Because you can, instead of a piece of luggage, have a box, and I will do that for any big breakables that I want to transfer around. That, or you could just ship it if you have the ability to do that. If you're working out of a hotel, that might be more difficult, but a quick thing of tape and box. Yeah. Bring an extra bag. You can do that too.
Huge, because you can leave with like catalogs this deep, and they are heavy, y'all. So you want to be pulling those along with you in a rolly bag. They give you free bags at the show, but you do not want to be lugging that stuff over your shoulder.
No, the free bags are pretty garbage. And yeah, don't count on just carrying. It's a lot of paper. You get a lot of paper, and then you'll get like little free samples too, which is fun. You might get free samples of what have we gotten? Chapstick, lotion, sanitizer, chocolates, candies.
Yeah,
suckers.
the free samples are fun. We went through the CBD section one day because we had already been and seen and done everything. So we walked through there, and the CBD section gives you the best samples of all. So there was an energy drink company in there last time, and they gave us this free bag, and inside of it was an energy drink, some like energy shot. There was a baseball hat that glowed in the dark. It was just filled with all kind of goodies. Lucy didn't want hers, so she gave it to me, and I sold that on eBay, both of them. So yeah, you can sell your little freebies.
Definitely. Yeah, it was like light up hat, and I'm like, I don't want, Anyhow.
But somebody does, and I sold it.
I remember people selling their eBay open t-shirts on eBay. That was a big thing too.
Hey.
Whatever. Anyhow, mine's sitting in the closet. I probably ought to just donate that at this point. Let's say good morning, Mariana. Kaji was one of the Facebook users. Poppy's here. Caffeinated Hustler, of course.
I love that name, the Caffeinated Hustler.
Yeah,
I love
we've
that.
Got Craig Landshark Picker. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check out his channel, and AWAS in there. So thank you for joining us today. If you guys have any questions about ASD, if you're not going to ASD, sign up now, and then you have access to the vendors.
Online. ASD is online. These vendors are online.
So we've got some questions that I pulled this morning, so they'd be a little bit more like I have my stuff in order here for you, Tina. And I thought we'd knock out a couple of these questions real quick. First one is, how often do you review your Reprice settings, daily or just a couple times a week? How often do you
Repricer settings?
Yeah.
I don't do it a couple times a week at all, like maybe once a month, because when I set my Repricer settings, I've set them for the parameters I want. So for my thing is like set it and forget it. And then maybe once a month I will go through there like, okay, why are some of these things not selling? Because I set my rules so I don't have to micromanage my repricing.
I add new products on Mondays and Fridays. So on
Mhm.
Monday and Fridays, I go in and any new products that have hit the warehouse that are not on my repricer, I will get them added to a rule and get the minimum and maximum done. And then monthly, I'm going to go in and go through stuff that I have a high amount of inventory of or has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's my two things. I sent somebody is trying to fight an IP claim and they sent in PDFs, but now they're asking for a letter of authorization from the brand. Are they out of luck or do they have any suggestions? You got to ask for a retraction. And if you can't get a retraction, you can either have a lawyer try and ask for a retraction. You can call them, track them down on LinkedIn. There's if you can't really go down that route, like that is not an applicable route, then and Amazon wants either a retraction or a letter of authorization, then yeah, you're pretty stuck. You have to get either of those things. Somebody wants help getting ungated in Legos? Go to lego.com. This one's real easy, guys.
You're like,
Lego lego.com, and then they will lego.com sort by price so that you buy one of the cheaper items. Unless one of the bigger items makes money, then you could do that. Somebody says they do all their Christmas in September. It's a Filipino tradition. So that was kind of cool to hear.
That's very cool to know. Maybe that's why I've sold some of my Christmas things from last year. And some people buy early, craft supplies, you guys. And this is on eBay and Amazon. I mean, this goes for both. For people who craft, they start months in advance crafting for that holiday. So and holiday stuff for me, like as far as eBay goes, I will sell holiday stuff all year long. On Amazon, I do not sell holiday stuff all year long. So know your platform.
See, and I sell holiday stuff on Amazon. It's been eclectic though on what will sell. I'm selling Easter eggs right now. Why Easter eggs are selling in the middle of what are we in August? I have no clue.
Easter eggs are bomb, you guys. And every year after Easter, they go on sale so cheap. So cheap.
But couldn't tell you why. Easter other stuff, not so much. So
yeah.
I don't know.
And I discovered several years ago, I haven't seen them in the last few years. And at my local grocery store, they were selling for several years these Easter eggs that were like what I call like a Russian doll type of setting. If you know about Russian dolls, where it's like you open it, there's another doll inside and they get smaller and smaller. Well, they had Easter eggs like this at the local grocery store. So it was in a plastic clear container and they look like regular plastic eggs. But when you open one egg, there was another smaller Easter egg inside, so on. And every year I would buy them after Easter when they clearanced out. And I would sell those things like hotcakes during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned Easter eggs sell all the time. And those particular eggs went for really good money.
I am also selling Easter baskets, which is weird. I had a couple left over and I'm like, I'll just sell the baskets. And now the listings they're not Easter baskets anymore. They're Halloween trick-or-treat baskets. And they're selling that way, which is interesting. Hi, Shay. Good morning. How are you? Uh-oh. Now you're hold on. I think that was me.
I'm like, what?
Well, I clicked on something and now it's not muted. I hate that. Sometimes it mutes automatically and sometimes it does not. Yeah. It's bizarre.
And with a name like Land Shark Picker, and I know doing eBay, I don't know if you've personally ever come to ASD, but ASD sells a lot of like closeouts and things that you can't get proper invoices for Amazon, but you can really get some great prices. So I also do eBay as well. And there's a lot of good stuff at ASD for eBayers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody asks, worries that UPS and Amazon will lose your items. How do you handle this during Q4? Wine? My answer for most things is wine. There's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, I have currently cases of stuff that Amazon has lost. I have stuff that Sendle has lost. I had to do a claim. My brother's birthday gift never made it to my brother. And so I'm going through the process of trying to get reimbursed for that. And it's a pain in the butt. They want to do this, do that. You got to fill out this form. You got to send invoices. It's exhausting and difficult because they don't want to refund you. The same is with UPS and USPS if you've ever had a lost item. Tina, you've had some things lost, not recently, but it's been a
I've been
fight
fighting
for.
a case with Amazon for a lost case pack that I sent to them in May. I have the invoice that I bought it, and I bought it wholesale. It's a private label item I sell. I also have the bill of landing that Amazon did in fact receive it, yet I'm still not getting paid back from Amazon. And it is aggravating. It's aggravating when I've done my job correctly, and then I have to now tap in and help you do your job correctly. That always annoys me more than anything. When companies mess up, just in general in life, and then it's left for you to have to follow through and fix it. I don't like having to do other people's jobs. That just really is a waste of my time.
I have a whole section on my Trello board over here on waiting on other people's actions. And it's for just things like that, I have put the ball back in their court and I am waiting for them to get back to me. I got my new garage door at the warehouse yesterday. That's been on my list since beginning of May, end of April. And now they finally got the door up, but they destroyed the ceiling part. And so now the maintenance guy has to go get parts on Monday. But anyhow, things like that so that I don't lose track of those things because, you put in a request, you put in a this or that, or you answer a case. Today is my day. I put in DMCAs for my Bath and Body Works copyright.
And today's the day. Is their deadline to
Yes. So I marked that on. That's one of my things is today is the day. Now, I don't know if it happens I think I put it in around 3 p.m. So I don't know if it's going to be exactly to the hour or I have to wait until tomorrow, but I'm hoping those fall off or I get some sort of resolution answer, etc. Compliance documents, like if I need to pull or get compliance documents or pull an item, those are things that will go on that. And that I reference, like every other day, I'll look at my stuff and see, okay, it's been 3 days since I emailed this person or since I did whatever. Do I need to follow up with it? But yeah, it's part of adulting. My son is starting to realize that. He goes, oh my gosh, all I do is I nag and remind people and bug people because he can't.
It's exhausting sometimes. And today I'm wearing my shirt. Does it show up the right way or backwards?
Yes. It shows up good to me.
Because some days that's just what I feel like. And today was one of those days.
Yeah.
I put this in the Goodwill bins, by the way, all my Goodwill shoppers for eBay.
Oh, goodness. Let's see here. This one is for you, Tina. Hi, Tina. I really like the poly bag that you showed us. Where can I get those? Mine is too plastic and rips so easy. Thank you.
And I'm thinking they mean the white bag that I ship in.
Yes.
I get them on Amazon, but you know what? I don't recall the name of the vendor that I've bought them from. And these are great. So I'll have to look up who that seller was on Amazon. I can do that while you look at the next
that and put the link. And if you have an affiliate link,
I don't have any Amazon affiliate stuff.
I gotta whip you into shape, girl. You need affiliate links. But I just bought mine on Amazon. So I, went with whatever's there. And then if I find a vendor that I like, I just click the reorder button so that I do it. Good morning, caffeinated hustler. 100 times a day I need wine. Yes, it's like a mantra. I need a glass. I need a glass. Thrifting and flipping. Good morning from Utah. And Trina says, love to listen while shipping orders in the morning. Well, I don't need to go to ASD. I would love to go back to Vegas. If you all get a minute, please for me, go have a crepe at the Patissiere while watching the triple chocolate water fountain.
Oh, she's talking about Bellagio. That's in Bellagio by the Flower Garden.
Ooh, I imagine, is it open like in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, I might have to try and do that. I love crepes. Crepes are good. All sorts of crepes.
We used to eat them on lunch breaks at Bellagio sometimes, and you watch them make them there right in front of you. It's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll take my mom there. There's a crepe place down from her house too, or her old house, more closer. That it's like Decatur in Sahara. It's just called the French Bakery, and it's by the Office store. I can't remember if it's a Staples or an Office Depot. Phenomenal crepes, but they shut down for a bit, and then I haven't been back, so I'm hoping they made it through. But God, now I'm hungry. I already started hungry this morning, and I don't have my breakfast yet. So
And then
talking
crepes,
about crepes is terrible.
crepes always looks like creepy. It's
Creepy. All right, last question here. How do you put an expiration date on an FNSKU in Seller Central? I don't use a thermal printer at the moment, so Inventory Lab won't work. So I wanted to talk about this real quick because Inventory Lab has nothing to do with a thermal printer. Like you can have a thermal printer and not have Inventory Lab. You can just print your labels. One is not tied directly to the other, but Inventory Lab does link up with thermal printers, making it easier. I don't think there's any way in Amazon Seller Central to add an expiration date to your FN SKU. Can you think of any, Tina?
No, and I was over here looking for bags, so I was just letting you roll with it. You wanted to know about putting an expiration date in your FNSKU
Through Seller Central. And I'm pretty sure you cannot through Seller Central unless things have changed.
Well, if you're creating a ship, I don't see why. All right, let me drop this down so I can see you. I don't see why you couldn't, because when, like, for in Inventory Lab, for instance, I will incorporate my buy cost in the store into my FNSKU, right? So how you can do that. So let's say you cannot have multiple FNSKUs for FBA shipments. So if it's a one-time thing and you're sending it in and you want to know your expiration date, I don't see why you couldn't incorporate that.
No. He's talking about the one that you need on the product, on the thing.
Oh, okay.
I would just have to print 2 labels. Back when I did Seller Central and not Inventory Lab, my pre-Inventory Lab days, which is a little hazy upstairs here, I had to print the FBA label and then go, and I just had a Word doc with the Avery 5160 template, which is a 30 up label template in there. And I would type in expiration date equals whatever, 8/19/23, and then print that out and apply 2 stickers to my products. And I don't believe they've done any updating to not have it that way currently. Which, by the way, last night, Amazon Seller Central stopped updating shipments around, it was like somewhere between 3 o'clock and dinner time, my time. And so if you were looking at sales last night and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't sold anything in hours. Yeah, it was down. And then somebody on the Facebook group, I'll just touch on this real quick and then we'll move into the other topic, mentioned that if they are selling merchant fulfilled items and using UPS, you used to be able to go into UPS, scan the merchant fulfilled paid shipping label, and do a free pickup for your merchant fulfilled items. And they're saying that that does not work. So I don't know. I haven't confirmed or denied this yet because I don't have anything going out UPS that I've done that, but I will be testing this out. This is going to be huge during Q4 for planning out your shipping, because during Q4, I'd always have something going out UPS on a daily basis. So I'd do a free pickup every single day using those labels. And if that's not doable, then it's going to cost me more. And that's not good to hear. So if anybody can confirm or deny that one, that would be awesome if you've used it recently. If not, I will test it out next time I do a shipment.
I'm sorry for the links. It looks like it comes from me and Lucy. Those were just the last 2 companies I bought bags from. I like to buy the little colored one just because I think they're, I don't know, they're more cheery to receive in the mail. So I do buy the smaller ones in the blue color, like my glasses.
But that's just for when you're merchant fulfilling, not for
Correct.
sending into FBA.
That's
FBA
correct.
needs to be white.
Yes.
If you need an opaque bag, which there are certain products that you need an opaque bag if they have particular material that, like, let's say you had a 5-year-old, you wouldn't want a 5-year-old looking at that package, then it needs an opaque bag.
Yeah.
There are certain images, but we try to keep it
And
family
for
friendly.
adult products, I do little black bags.
To FBA? See, I thought it had to be white.
No, I read on there, and that's what I always used to do was white. But I believe I read on there that it was supposed to be black, and I was like, oh, I've always been putting it in a white bag. So
I've always done white. I believe the word was opaque. So,
yeah. Well,
okay, now I got to look that up.
Yeah, well, that, you know, I've used the white ones or the black ones, so far so good.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with either of those, but I'm going to look up that
It's
rule
always
too now.
funny when you get cases of adult products dropped off at your front door at your house because sometimes I think, "Good lord, what does my carrier think is going on in my house?"
Yeah, I had somebody make a very large, unpredictable order last night, and my husband went, "Wow, they're going to party, aren't they?" I was like, "Who orders that much of that?" Ah. All right, Thriftin' and Flippin' says, I haven't been able to schedule the free FBM UPS pickups for months now. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Well, the other roundabout of that is make really good friends with your UPS people and have nice snacks to encourage them to stop. I keep my bathroom in the new office really clean, and I have water and candy and snacks here. So, oftentimes they'll stop by and they're like, "Oh, can I just have a water because it's been hot, or can I use the restroom?" And I encourage them to stop, say hi, and if you need something, come right in because I need you to pick up more free for me. Let me tell you, if you save $3.80 2 or 3 times a week, that's worth a case of water and some potato chips or
Yeah, and
whatever
they
it is.
appreciate it too, so it really is a win-win.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. So we're moving on. Let me see here. What did we have? We had creative supplemental income. Is that what our title is called? Do you remember? Creative ways to get, what'd you call us? Creative ways to get
To generate some income. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Um, I have some Amazon seller friends that told me that they had started doing not Instacart, or it was Instacart or Uber Eats, I don't recall. And earlier in the spring, when it wasn't hot here, my husband and I tried it for about a month just for fun and just to see like how much could you make doing Instacart and Uber Eats. So we signed up for these accounts. And when we were done working for Amazon and we were just kind of done for the day, we would go out for 1 or 2 hours. And we did this maybe 3 days a week. We weren't putting much effort into it at all because I didn't want to be out in stores and doing that. And I just wanted to test the waters and do a test, like what could a person make? And we were making about $176 a week, doing it very, very part time. And so I thought for people who maybe don't want to take a loan, and are just starting, need some startup money, or just want some extra cash for Q4, and you don't want to put in more hours at your job, or maybe you don't have a job and don't want to go back to work, but you just want some cash, like right now. I think doing Uber Eats and or Instacart, Grubhub, any of those things. Like there's another one, I don't know the name of it. You can sign up where you pick up people's Walmart orders for like the people who have the Walmart Plus accounts and have those orders dropped off at their house. I just don't recall what that it's something different than Instacart. You sign up with them. Walmart has already put the people's orders together. You're just simply picking it up and dropping it off at somebody's house. And you get paid for each delivery. And then if the person gives you a tip, you can do it whenever you feel like. And so we tried it out for a month and we were making close to $200 a week doing it just barely. And I think, that's an option because you could say, well, I'm just going to flip stuff on eBay. Well, you have to wait for it to sell, right? But if you're doing the Instacart and Uber Eats, it's like you did it, you get paid. Like it's right away. And you
I
don't
want to say
have to
it's weekly, right?
weekly.
Instacart
Yeah.
was weekly.
Yeah, you get the weekly payout, and it's all very simple to use and do. And I would maybe do it again, but now it's too hot, and I'm going to be busy with Q4 right now. But if I was a newer seller, I didn't have a lot of time or enough money. I would totally do that. I mean, you could dedicate one day a week, 6 hours, and make. I want to say it was roughly $20 an hour we were making when I did the math when it was all said and done. So, I mean, that's just a really creative way to make money. There's so many ways to make money. And I think that's one way because we've talked about, do I take an Amazon loan if I'm looking for extra cash? Some people don't want to do debt and some people feel a little bit more confident about using debt wisely everybody's in a different place. And so that's what I wanted to talk about was, how can we generate some just extra cash for our business for capital going into Q4? And that I think is one of them.
I think when I did Instacart, I roughed it out to about $15 an hour, give or take. It was between $15 and $20 an hour. And so if you did that a couple times, after dinner or whatever you can afford to do time wise, it's
Spark.
also
Yeah.
Spark and DoorDash. You find which one that you like the most or you like the least and go with it. Instacart was fine for me because I know the stores. Like that played right into my wheelhouse because I already shop at most of these stores. And if you go out and do retail arbitrage, you pretty much know the store layout. So
Yeah.
when people say they want this or that, you know which aisles to go on. I would not want to do that in a store that I didn't know or maybe a location that I didn't know because it'd be exhausting and time is money.
And then I found new products that way. I was like, oh, what is this? I've never even thought about picking this up at the grocery store when I try to find a thing. So of course it gave me something to later look up on Amazon. Instacart paid more per batch, but took longer. I thought DoorDash was more fun because it was quick. Like I walked in and I remember we went to Starbucks and got like 4 coffees and we took it right down the street to the people who worked at the Chili's restaurant. And they, and so because they were restaurant workers, they tipped us really well. So that was, it was just kind of fun. I mean, we did. And then so we stopped so you can turn your phone off. Like it's up to you when you want to work, you turn yourself on and off. And so we ended up in the Chili's parking lot where there was a TJ Maxx, a Walmart. And so we went sourcing for a couple hours, got back in the car, and we thought, well, on our way home, let's try to grab like an order or two on our way back to the house. And we did 2 more orders that day. So,
Mhm.
it was kind of fun. I mean, we enjoyed the short time that we did it.
See, and I liked Instacart. I'd go in the store and I'd be like, okay, these are my replens and this is my order. So I now have my replens and I've got my order and I'll be getting the cash. I was paid out on Mondays. So every Monday, I did it for a couple of weeks when it was well over a year ago, but I would get that money on Monday just transferred right into my bank account. So it was really quick. And it is an option if you have upcoming bills or whatever. I mean, there's just so many expenses these days that pop
Yeah.
up that you may need to just have a bit of extra money if it helps you pay your car payment or get that whatever Xbox for your kid that they've been wanting or pay for something, pay
Yeah.
for your bill. And Q4 shopping is insane and everybody's talking about how they're going to do their capital. And if you are lining up any sort of credit or loans or whatnot, now is the time to be doing that because it takes sometimes 4 to 6 weeks to set those up. The Amazon one is instant. Sorry, my nose is just really on fire this morning. I'm glad though I'm not sneezing. Sometimes I'll sneeze like 30 times in a row. But the Amazon loan does not check your credit, just so you know, if you're wondering. They do not care what your credit is. They will take it right out of your paycheck. I have done one before. I did not like it. I just got out of it. It was the amount that they took out was brutal and pretty much killed my cash flow. And then moving into the warehouse and trying to expand, my cash flow became really, really tough to manage because they were taking it right off the top. And so while it did, you sign up for it and like within 2 weeks, you will have the cash there. I mean, period. So if that's something that is interesting to you, then go ahead and do it. The terms, you can do both on there. One is through Amazon, one is through Marcus, something else. You can do both. I don't know if you do one, if it changes your availability for the other, like if the other one will not give you as much if you've already got one, but you can do both. And it is pretty instant on the cash front and it does not check your credit. So
Yeah.
those are
I had
definitely
a friend do a
options.
very small Amazon loan back when one of my friends that I worked with at Bellagio, we were both doing Amazon together. And she didn't have as much capital, and she took a small loan with them. It was like $4,000 or $5,000. She didn't want to go too crazy, and she loved it. She loved that they took it out of her check. But again, it was a smaller amount, so the amount they took out of her check was smaller, and that gave her the little bit of boost she needed. And for those who maybe are not good about paying things on time, or the robbing Peter to pay Paul type of deal, Amazon forces you to pay it because you have no choice. They're going to take it out of your check. But I felt that the interest on it was a bit high. And I do want to share a story. Now, I did this when I bought my first barber shop because, my background is barbering, for those that don't know. When I was 27 years old, I bought my first barber shop. I bought it from my boss who I worked for, who was retiring. And I didn't have bad credit, but I didn't have a lot of credit. I was 27 years old. And so what I did is I tried to do the whole SBA loan route. And there's so much stuff you have to do to get an SBA loan. You have to write out these stories, show these business plans. And me being me, I want the quick route. I want it quick and easy. And
Yes.
I want to say, though, first and foremost, I'm very, very responsible. I pay things on time. I pay it ahead of time. I pay more than I'm supposed to. I'm really disciplined that way. So you have to know yourself if you're disciplined or not. But what I did do is I took out a loan off of my credit card. You know how you'll get the mailers that say, you can have X amount of money for 0% interest for X amount of months, or 3% and very, very low. And I bought that barbershop between two credit cards that had 0% interest for year payments. And when that year was almost up, I wasn't quite done paying off my barbershop loan. So I ended up getting another loan with like a 3% interest. And it took me a year and a half to pay up my barbershop. And I did it through a credit card. I bought a business on a credit card. So you have to just be really disciplined. And I already knew what the business was going to bring in because I had worked for that boss for many, many years. And I knew what I brought in. So, I mean, you have to know yourself, know your numbers, know what you're doing. Just jump into things cautiously and with forethought. Don't just say, oh yeah, this sounds good and I need money. So know yourself and decide the route that's best for you. Do you want to do, Uber Eats for quick cash, one day a week? Do you want to take an Amazon loan? Do you maybe want to use credit card, or nothing at all? Just continue doing what you're doing without trying to have extra capital. Any and all of it is okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel like you have to do one or the other to keep up with the Joneses here when you see other people out shopping, for sure. Birdie says that he's doing both of the Amazon loans, the Marcus and the Amazon one right now, and they work just fine. And they pay him back full in each month for both. So
very good.
Very good. Good. And then Mariana says she's got 5 credit cards, Marcus, and Amazon loan. She's ready for Q4.
She's going full force.
Yeah. Yeah, I do pretty much the 0% credit cards and purchasing and whatnot. And I make sure I pay everything every month and I have amazing credit. And that's one of the things we're trying to teach my son. We just got him his first credit card. And I said, you need to do a purchase every month and pay it off every month so that by the time you're out of college, you will have some credit built to where you can go and buy a car if you want, or buy a house if you want, or, it just keeps the opportunities of your adult life open. I love, like, when we buy cars and whatnot, I will purposely dress down, kind of like what I am right now. I'm just in a regular old top. I don't look like I'm anything special or whatnot. And as soon as they run their credit, my God, they're fawning over me. I hate car salesmen. They drive me crazy. But don't judge a book by its cover. Some people that are out there driving around in fancy cars are in debt up to their eyeballs, and some that are, looking like I don't want to say I look like I'm homeless, but looking a little raggedy are not as, you don't know the story behind things. The other thing I'll add in there is I got my business a DUNS number back in the day so that my business would start developing credit so that I would have more opportunities going forward later. Because, right now I'm Amazon. I'm all about Amazon. But if I said, one day I want to sell my Amazon business and buy an ice cream shop or whatnot, then I want to be able to have that business credit to be able to do so.
And can you tell people what a DUNS number is? Because a lot of people wouldn't know what that is.
I got to look it up.
What is the exact website? I've signed up for it as well, but I didn't my first few years of business on Amazon. I've owned 3 different salons and never recall doing this. So I actually learned about that from Lucy. I didn't even know. And I've even had businesses in the past. So don't be embarrassed if you don't know things, you guys. We don't all know all the things. And don't be embarrassed if you had bad credit. That's why doing things like DoorDash and Uber Eats can be a good alternative. Life happens, and I don't think you should ever be ashamed of these things. And I'm not saying that you are, but I know people can be.
Right. It's a Dun and Bradford is what Dun stands for. I'm going to give two things. I'm going to give, you can call this number. It says to request one. I did it
I did it
through, I
online.
believe this one. Oh, no. This one's $229. I'm not giving you
Well,
guys that
frickin' and
link.
flippin', I'm glad that you did need that because
Okay, I'll find the link and I'll put it in a minute, but because I gotta do some search
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but
I have already, Tina. What are you doing to me?
but it is an easy Google search because I just found it by Googling the day that I did do it. So
Yeah, I
Dun
have one that keeps
Brad
popping up that
Street.
wants money.
Yes, Dun and Bradstreet. Just Google that and it's for those that you have to have an LLC already, right? You can't do that as a sole proprietor.
I think so. I know I had my LLC before
Yeah.
doing the Duns and Bradford. So
And then
um,
that does help your business, it shows that you have been a business since this time and what your credit is. And so it's good. I mean, it's good to build that up. Even if you don't stay using an LLC, your LLC name with just Amazon, that can apply to all the things that you're going to do, whether maybe you build your own Shopify store or your own website, you can still keep that LLC. And I'm
yeah,
curious if anybody watching has any tips for ways that you are generating extra cash. I mean, I have only got the ideas that I've personally done or have thought of, but maybe some of you have a tidbit to offer as well, for people that maybe need to generate just a few extra bucks a month or right now.
I have one.
Okay.
I do all of those receipt scans. In fact, like this is my pile today that I go and I entered in. So I do the
Fetch rewards and stuff.
fetch. I'm gonna have to do this. Fetch, Pogo. I've got them all in one folder so I can optimize my
I
time
do
here.
too. I have a little receipt folder in my phone.
Yeah. Receipt Pal, Fetch Rewards, Pogo, Receipt Hog, and then there's Ibotta, but I don't use Ibotta as much as what I guess I could. Anyhow, this is the time, probably September, maybe October. I use those and cash out for gift cards. Sometimes I will do gift cards with a particular person in mind, like I'm going to get my cousin a $50 gift card to Target or whatnot, or Amazon, because I know I'm always purchasing stuff on Amazon as well. So I will go ahead and cash those out at this time. And I use it towards Christmas, but you could use it towards shopping as well
Yeah.
during this time.
And those aren't necessarily quick cash, but you have to use it all year and let it build up and really generate cash. I know on my fetch, I have over 14,000 points.
I think it's 15,000 gets you the next tier, right?
I don't know, but the year's not over yet. And then also, making sure that you're remembering to use your Rakuten and your top cash back while
Yep.
you're shopping and earn cash back that way. Of course, the Rakuten is only quarterly. The top cash back you get sooner, and earning cash on the money you're spending. But definitely to generate the quicker cash is going to be, or like I said, going to the Goodwill bins. Even though it does take a bit longer to sell the thing, um, on eBay, but we went to the bins the day that I got my train wreck shirt, which I love. My husband found these motorcycle pants, or was it no, it was a jacket. It was a shirt that has like pads in it and stuff. And it was pretty dirty, but we washed it, cleaned it up. It looked new. And we listed it on eBay. Our whole order, I want to say, was $18 because Goodwill bins is like a weigh and pay. You grab the stuff, you put it in the bag, how much it weighs is what it costs. And those pairs of pants we priced lower than what the competitors were on eBay because I paid nothing for this bag. And we sold it. I want to say it was like 150 bucks, like within the first week. And that was some quick money on eBay. So, I mean, if you know things on eBay that go for good money, that's a great way to earn some quick cash if you price it to sell it fast on eBay. If you're not trying to get top dollar, but you know that you're going to make good money.
Somebody says in the chat, best stuff, Shopkick and Flues. I have not heard of either of those, so I'm gonna
Yeah, I've
mark
had
them.
both. Shopkick I took off my phone finally because it just didn't work anymore. Shopkick is one of those that works kind of like I forget my other app. Anyway, when you walk, you could just drive by a store and get points. There's one that when I just drive by the store, my phone dings that I've earned points. I can drive by a Target, a Walmart, a Walgreens. It's like you got points, points. And Shopkick was like that. You would walk into a Target and you would just get points just for walking in. And then when you were in Target, like if you were sourcing, you would get points if you scanned an item. So you could walk into the Target, look at the things they wanted you to scan. So if you were in the beauty section, it might be a certain brand of shampoo. You would scan that shampoo with the Shopkick app, and you would get points.
Nice. Retail Me Not. I have done Retail Me Not is my go-to for coupons. Anytime I'm signing up for a site or looking for something, like I'll do Omaha or Harry and David or something for a couple of my family members. And those are easy to do ahead of time and just say, ship it out December 5th or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I will always, always, always be looking for a coupon before I make that order, because you never know where where you can save a bit. My daughter had her birthday. She had a very good birthday, but her and her friend wanted to go to the water park here. And we did a quick search and found $22 off each ticket. That was $44 off took a few minutes, less than 10 for $44 in savings. So always, always be doing that, especially as you're doing searching and shopping. I do that for away orders too. Like if I'm, doing whatever online order, look for a free shipping code or something like that. People sell coupons on eBay. We haven't touched on that.
Yes, that's true, because there's a lot of couponers out there. And you can, especially when you get those higher dollar mailers to your house, say for Lowe's and whatever, you can sell all of that stuff on eBay. Although that's not a high dollar hustle. It is, in the dollars, and you'll just put a stamp on an envelope. So, but yeah, you can do that.
I thought some of them went for decent money. I want to say like the Staples, the 20% off Staples. I'm looking at some right now.
Coupons, and I'm talking to the viewers, not you, but just search eBay for coupons and then go under sold and then sort it from the highest amount, so you can see what goes for big money. Capital Alone Shopping and Honey Extension work great for OA. Now I know about the Honey Extension, but I don't know what Capital Loan is. I've never heard of that.
I thought it was Capital One, but
maybe that's
Capital One.
What did I say? Loan?
Yeah, Capital One does a cashback or something, but I think I've.
So you mean credit card? The Capital One credit card?
No, there's an extension. Yeah, that is one. I'll bring that one up too. Alaska Airline discounts is the number one selling. Home Depot tax. What? Somebody's selling a Home Depot tax ID for tax exempt for $250.
Wow.
That's not kosher. That's not good. No. Do not sell your tax ID for money on eBay, people. That is like, I can't even believe it. 94 bed and bath coupons went for $50. I'm blown away. You can't do that. You can't. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, let's look up the Capital One extension.
Yeah, Judy, that's a good tip too. If you're selling on eBay, you can also become an affiliate or get their API key. Yeah, and I need to sign up for these things. I have not, because I've never felt like I had a place to use them. But now that I'm here on YouTube and have Facebook, if people don't mind clicking those links and I earn commissions, then that would be cool.
Yeah, hold on. Clearing my screen so that I can share it. Share screen. Okay, so automatically apply coupon codes for Capital One shopping. So it's an extension. I have not put this on because when I ran Honey and Rakuten like fought each other, and it was exhausting. So I disabled Honey because I get more off of Rakuten. Some people use Top Cash Back and they say that one's better than Rakuten, but
Well,
I don't know.
sometimes Top Cashback offers you a higher percentage, and you get the cash quicker. Where Rakuten, you have to wait quarterly for the check to come to your house. The Top Cashback, you can cash it out. Like, I want to say it's 2 days later. It's pretty quick that you get your money.
This is one I'm looking at. Reusable Home Depot tax ID for tax exemption on all purposes. If you
Interesting.
find that out, that's called like tax fraud. And I don't know if you follow in the news, but people are getting in trouble for that.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Gift cards. They're you
Mhm.
can what is it? The gift card granny, and
And
there's
raise,
another one. You can
raise.
not only buy the gift cards at a discount, you can sell your gift cards. Those gift cards that you got last Christmas, the year before, and they're still sitting there because you don't eat at Red Robin or whatever. You can sell your those gift cards sitting around in your wallet.
Looks like Home Depot 15% off goes for quite a bit. 112, 120. That's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
what are people doing? Are they buying a new roof or something and then getting 15% off to
Yeah, maybe.
water?
Or what if you're remodeling your kitchen and you're buying new cabinetry, and that could really pay off for somebody to buy it that high. Hey, look, I'm not going to buy one for that high of a dollar, but I will sell you one.
I am gonna sign up for Home Depot just to sell these 15% offs.
Hey, as
Look at
as
these.
all of
These
us
are all
and
going
everybody watching is
for $100. You know?
like,
This is crazy. Yeah, even just a basic 15% off is going for $100 all day long. Okay, I have a new side hustle I'll be doing.
yeah. See what this and see. This is what happens when you make friends with people on Amazon. Is just a simple conversation like this can turn into like a wow. I just found a new thing that I can possibly sell or do. I didn't know about that. And that's what I love about brainstorming and talking with other Amazon sellers. And I hope those watching like that too. Because this is how it goes in real life between Lucy and I. We'll
Oh
just
yeah,
talk about this stuff. And it's like, oh, crap, I didn't know that.
yeah.
The
The
caffeinated hustle. Oh, you're going to read that too? Go ahead.
the caffeinated hustle says she's catching up, or they are catching up on the live, and they do DoorDash to pay off the credit card that I use to purchase FBM and FBA items and getting miles with the credit card. Exactly. You get a little
Yeah.
system going. And people often post, I see new sellers all the time. They're like, how much money do I need to start for FBA? Really, you can, like, if I lost everything today, like I had no home, I had nothing, I could build it up from the ground zero with zero. And that is what the best thing about this job has been the confidence to say that if I made a big mistake or I lost everything or I had a tragic event in my life, I could literally start from the ground up, and I know I could do it because I have all these options, and I would be able to find the different ways to do the different things to start from nothing and build it up. Whereas before, I was always dependent on a job, I was on a boss, on a good review, on a this, on a that, on them performing well, on them doing well.
Yeah.
And it was at the whim. There was 8 times I came in and found out I'm not going to have a job. Some
Hmm.
of it was that day. Some of it was we'll be shutting the door in 3 months. Some of it was we have 2 weeks. But then you're scrambling because you're like, oh gosh, now I got to go find something else, and there's going to be a period of time of nothingness
Yeah.
that is hard. It's hard on a family if you go from having an expected income to nothing, and unemployment sometimes does not pay what you need it to pay. So
Yeah.
you've got to fill in that gap somewhere. And this job has allowed me to find all the ways where I could fill it in, whether I've had a broken foot or surgery or no money or no time or no whatever, fill in the blank. And you can find things that will make a situation work.
Yeah. And this business has definitely, I've always felt somewhat resourceful anyway. I was raised by a single mother. So I always felt pretty creative and resourceful. And this business has taught me so many more ways to make money. I mean, people will buy anything. You can list crap from your garage, your closets, when you're cleaning out your closets and you're finding something, you can put it on OfferUp on Facebook Marketplace. You can go in your garage. Sometimes you just get rid of stuff you don't want. Like we've all bought the treadmill that we intended to use, and we used it, really well when we first got it. And then it becomes a place that collects your laundry. And then it's just there taking up space. And, I sold a treadmill for $150 out of my house that I just wanted it out of here. So I started selling things on Etsy. On Etsy I've created digital downloads. Like you can sell party invitations, you can sell pre-done resumes, you can sell it's called an SVG, which is what the crafters like to buy, which is you can create a digital word or picture, and these become digital downloads. And so all they cost you is your time to make it, create the listing, and then the person on Etsy buys this download. So you've made it once. And you can sell these things. You can, sign up for the merch by Amazon and create, especially if you're good at graphic design. Even if you're not, you can do this stuff on Canva. I've created many shirt designs on Canva. I upload it to my Amazon merch account for shirts. And there are shirt designs, and even a couple of, I did a couple of books on Amazon that I still sell to this day. Books that I created years ago, like little notebooks and things, and I maybe will make $20 or $40 a month on Amazon for stuff I did years ago because it was all digital. You upload it. I mean, there's so many ways to make money and generate money in a pinch when you need it.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to share, I can't find it right now because it was on Etsy, but I'm going to share two of the weirdest things that I've ever seen for sale that I find weird. I'm sure other people maybe don't, but dirty socks. There is
yes on eBay. I know about that.
For dirty socks. I'm just saying that there's things out there that I don't understand, but if you are, looking for very alternative ways to make money, we've got a pair of dirty socks that sold for $51, 5 bids. And then down here was women's dirty socks, $20. So, there's literally a business model that has you wear socks and then sell them. I could wear a pair of socks every week and make $20 off of during these socks. I don't get it.
Well, there was that cute girl on TikTok last year. I don't know if you ever saw her. This is so disgusting. She was selling, and why people were buying it is beyond me. She was selling, and you guys can look it up on TikTok. She was selling farts in a jar. She was farting on a TikTok video into a jar and selling it for a lot of money.
Yep.
I kid you not. Look it up. Anything sells. Anything. I had a friend 2 years ago get a divorce. She had 3 little girls and was a single mom. And she joined, it was a Facebook group for people. They make like out of old dolls, like imagine going to a thrift store, just buying like the old plastic dolls that are in there. They don't even have to have all their hair or be cute. And you ghoul them up, And so of course at this time of year, they're going to sell really well. And they make these like haunted looking evil dolls. And she was really, really crafty and clever. And her dolls looked really, really good. And she was selling these dolls. I'm talking $100+ for crap dolls that she didn't even have to get from the thrift store because she had 3 daughters. So she was taking their old dolls and just spooking them up. And she joined this Facebook group and she was selling the crap out of these things.
Yep. The newest one that we've been joking around the house is dog hair, and black dog hair for
yes
tends to go better than other color of dog hair. And so we've been telling the dogs that they need to earn their kibble, man. They need to earn it. And my daughter went and brushed the dog, and we got like a fraction of this. So we'd have to do a lot more.
Did you actually list it when I told you?
No, I don't have enough. I've got a Ziploc somewhere with it's very little dog hair in it.
How this happened, this was, was this like a month ago, Lucy? So we have 2 cats here at our house. And anybody who has animals, dogs, cats, your animals shed. And so my husband and I, we were brainstorming something clever we could sell. And so he happened to be outside on the patio brushing our cat. That's this black cat. And he goes, I bet you could sell this cat hair. So for shits and giggles, I Googled cat hair for sale. And sure enough, if people were not selling bags of cat hair on Etsy, now they were selling it more for like people who do witch rituals or whatever. So I don't know how I feel about selling cat hair for voodoo. I don't know if it was voodoo, but anyway, I messaged Lucy.
Voodoo.
I know.
Voodoo is different.
I messaged Lucy. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can sell your pet's hair on Etsy. And then I ran across this website where people who have horses, it was horse hair and some other animal hair, people sell it for big, big money. I guess it's for people who stuff their saddles. I had forgot all about that, Lucy. Yes, you guys look on Etsy. You can sell your animal hair in little baggies.
So you stuff your saddle with horsehair. Okay.
It was, yeah. If you Google animal hair for sale or something, that's because that's the equivalent of what I did the day that I looked it up through my phone, just for fun. Like for fun, I'm like, okay, cat hair. I'm telling you all, you can sell anything. You just got to market it correctly. You got to do the correct title, keywords.
Quarter pound of horsehair. I don't know how much hair a quarter pound is. As $30. Yeah. I mean, if I had a horse, this is...
Well, there was a website. They were selling it by the box. It was like a 5-pound box, and it was for a lot of money. And it was an actual website that's all they did was sell boxes of hair. And they were these 5-pound boxes or whatever. There's people that sell items on eBay that they claim are haunted or possessed, and people will buy it.
I love the little ghosts. People are selling pet ghosts in little things.
That's so cute. When you sent me that photo, super cute.
And that's crazy. My mother runs an antique booth down in Vegas with my Aunt Linda, who her son's getting married this weekend, so I get to go to the wedding tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. Anyhow, long story short here, they do a lot of jewelry pieces, a lot of antique jewelry, and they go and they'll buy like lots or jars or whatnot. And they take the good pieces and they'll sell the good pieces. But anything that's not perfect, missing stones, broken or whatnot, they make Christmas trees. So she'll buy on Amazon the large trees that kind of have a sequence or some sort of background, gold, silver, etc. And then they hot glue all of these mismatched parts and make a Christmas tree out of them to sell during Christmas time. They've also done, they take like mirrors and do the outer rim of a mirror to make a very beautiful mirror or picture frame. And yeah, and they've done just like regular pictures. They'll make a Christmas tree on black velvet and then frame it and sell that. And they make a lot of money doing this. I'm like, this is garbage. You're repurposing garbage.
Hey, there's
into something.
Buyer for everything. And
Yeah.
Judy, I've seen your last two comments, so I'm not ignoring you. I did see them, and I want to acknowledge you.
Yeah, Facebook user who I don't have up right this second, but hesitant to sell some jewelry. I am always hesitant too. We have some family jewelry that, you know, I can't really sell, but I can't really wear. I have a turn of the century antique watch, you know, it's like one of those pocket watches, and I'm going, when am I ever going to wear a pocket watch? And I got to find something creative. I want to display it or put them together in a shadow box or something. And voodoo. And I know women who sell their plasma or eggs just for extra money. I do plasma. That's what I do, and that's our Go to Europe fund. And it's nice because it helps people out that need plasma, and we get a little bit of money, and it's a way to have an income source just dedicated to my vacation.
Quite a bit of money doing that.
We've put over $2,000 away for plasma.
Yeah.
And into our funds.
Yeah.
To hopefully we're going to go do Italy, France, and Spain, I think, is where we're landing.
And then you can use your flyer miles that you're earning with your business credit card purchases. You know, it's like, be creative. Yeah. And whoever the Facebook user was, because we only see Facebook user that is hesitant to sell your jewelry. Well, maybe now you don't have to. You know, hopefully today we've given some good alternatives to where you don't have to do that. You know, try all the things before dipping into things that have meaning or value to you. I feel like that should be an absolute last source. Yeah.
This was maybe not the best best thing to. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm trying to find your thing in a jar, and
Oh,
I.
it was on TikTok. It was a
Oh,
girl on
okay.
TikTok. She was making TikTok videos.
Gotcha. Well, I was trying to find one for sale, but I am not finding them, but I'm finding all sorts of interesting, very interesting. Okay.
Humor sells, and I I
You're gonna
I
have to
personally sell a lot of humor things on Etsy because I have a twisted sense of humor, and so I find dumb things silly. So I tend to sell what I like and what I think is funny, and humor always sells. Cat stuff sells. Before I did Amazon and I only did eBay, anytime I would see a cat anything, I would buy it. The thrift store, a cat sweater, and a cat. I've sold the most hideous cat cookie jars. I mean, just ugly. Like, why you would want this on your counter is beyond me. But if you see a cat cookie jar, you swoop it up. And I like cats, but hey, I do draw the line at having cat cookie jars.
Okay, so this is probably my last one I'll show here. You've got a fartarium where this is where you put your farts. So they made a jar to put them on,
For
and they're selling it for
$22.
$22.
And look, someone gave it a 5-star review. Okay, I bought 2 fart. I'm telling you guys,
You could come up with the
you
craziest
can sell
ideas.
anything you want to. Just do it.
Trina says I pay $15.50 a week to get USPS pickup every day. That's not bad. That's not bad because I pay $3.80 for a pickup, and I'm doing 2 to 3 pickups, usually 2 pickups a day. But during Q4, that $15.50 might be worth it to do a weekly pickup for a
Absolutely.
while. Does UPS text you before you come? Judy wants to know. My UPS does not message me at all. Once in a while, I have the people's personal phone number that I can message and the whatnot, but they just come. They know where to go and what to do. I try to make it so that they don't have to have me here in my
I'm
area.
only
But
giggling because I think everyone's going to make a pot of chili tonight.
you need your fart jar, Tina. Oh my gosh! So Tina will be
All
using
have
her
chili for today.
fartarium tonight in high usage.
Oh,
Now, do you and your husband keep your farts in different jars, or do you combine them? Not going to answer.
flipping medical commodities is another hustle. Best Stuff says yes. Definitely, diabetic things. And I have bought at yard sales. And I'm always assuming the elderly parent has passed and they have all these medical supplies left over because, they're expensive. And a lot of people don't have insurance and they can't afford it. And people know better than to throw it away. So if there's nobody that they can give it to, a lot of times they will sell these things at yard sale. And I have sold lots of medical things, even like for people who have the breathing,
CPAPs.
well, not CPAPs. I was thinking nebulizer machines. People whose kids have
Nebulizer.
asthma or whatever. Just even like the tubing for that machine and the little mask, because those go bad and you have to replace them. I've sold things like that on eBay. Even the bigger gauze pads that are from the hospital, the bigger ones that people have sold at yard sales. And have done very well with them on eBay. I always struggle selling them though because I part of me feels guilty because I feel like the people that are buying these are people who clearly don't have medical insurance to cover these expenses. So sometimes I struggle with how high do I want to price that because I always envision it someone on a limited income that's buying them. So I always feel so torn emotionally when I sell that kind of stuff. Some people don't, but that's me.
I had a friend who's had a parent that passed and they had medical supplies and I sold them on eBay. And it is tough because, you're making money off of somebody that's dead. But on the flip side, what is she going to do? I think it was coloscopy bags.
Oh
What are you
yes,
going
I've
to
had those
what are you
do
going to do with
really
that? I mean,
well. Mhm.
it ought to go to somebody else. And then in the flip, we've bought medical supplies off of eBay because You go to insurance and they're like, yes, that will be $3 billion. And you're like, what?
Mhm.
No, I'll go to eBay and get it for $30.
Yeah.
Uh, Shay says, I signed up for a DUNS number, but it says I already had one. Anything else we need to do? Well, look up your DUNS number so you have it written down somewhere.
There you go.
That would be good. And then Thriftin for Flippin says, what's your opinion on the new seasonal Amazon price hike?
Anything that goes up in cost and takes my money sucks. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I don't have anything nice to say about it. And there's just not enough nice
What
things
that
to
means
say.
is all of us have to raise our price to cover that,
Yeah.
and the thing is for the people who don't raise their price, you're hurting yourself and all of us that have to price match you. So it's like we all have to unite and we have to raise our price to cover that cost. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, it sucks because it's a vicious cycle. Amazon raises their price, we'll raise our price, then inflation, happens, and it just sucks all around. So it is what it is. Did I ever think the prices were going to go down? No. The
No.
prices will always go up, and let me let you in on a little secret. They will go up every year. Every year, they're going to go up.
And the thing is, I have a hard time. Like, I want to see their justification for these things sometimes because, for those that have history working corporate America, a lot of times the fees that these companies raise it to, it's not because they're hurting and can't pay the bills, it's because they can. And
Mhm.
I feel like how Amazon is the right word, outprice themselves, because with the fees that we already pay for the shipping, just all the fees in total that are going up all the time, it's almost unrealistic what I am pricing some things to sell. And what I used to get, if my final profit on it used to be, say, $5, now even with me raising the prices some, because I can't really raise it as high as I need to, I'm now maybe making $3 off of it. So, it also hurts my bottom line. And
Mhm.
that's just the reality of it. Um, and then from my vendors, Lucy and I both buy a wholesale item that we both got email notifications on that they are going up. They're price increasing this item by 150%. So when I do the math, I now really can't sell that item on Amazon anymore because the current sellers are still selling it, in fact, lower than what we used to sell when we were getting it cheaper. And it's just like, how are they able to do this? What is happening? And
They
it's
bought it
very
before.
frustrating. And all my suppliers have gone up in price. Like, and I'm talking my wholesale accounts. There's an item that I buy that I've been buying several years, and now they've gone up 50%, not 50%, 50 cents on each of this item. These are bundles, and most of this bundle is a 4-pack for me. So now that bundle has gone up $2 for me because each item in the bundle has gone up by 50 cents. And so inflation is everywhere. We all know it. But yeah, it is making it tougher. I'm not gonna lie. My bottom line for my profit is not as good as it was 3 years ago. It's not. And that is part of the reason why I'm having to be creative, why I've gone back to the Goodwill bins, why I've, done the extra things until things finally, because I do think things will catch up to itself and it will level out. Everything is going to go up. We're going to be pricing higher. And I think it will work itself out. But right now, in the interim, we all got to get creative. We do.
Yep. Shay said that she just emailed herself the DUNS number, and that was easy.
I,
Good. And
like,
then
oh, that was easy.
inflation has never gone down. Yep,
Mhm.
yep. And Judy says Amazon does not let you raise certain items. Yeah, there could be certain items that you need to. I don't usually sell those types of items that they're going to be
Yeah, because
regulated.
they'll come after you that you're pricing it too high.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they don't care if you say, well, if I price it as low as you're making me, I'm going to lose $1. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. The Caffeinated Hustler says, what's the best company place to donate plasma? How much do I get? So the best place I would say is whatever's closest to you, because you're going to drive there and you don't want to be driving, you don't want to pay more gas to drive somewhere far. I think they're all in the grand scheme of things, it's all the same stuff. It's kind of like, do you shop at Fred Meyer or Safeway? I shop whatever grocery store is closest to me for the
Yeah,
most
you'll just
part
have to
because
Google plasma donation near me or plasma donation in my city, and you'll find places that do it.
so I do CSL plasma, and I've had no problems with CSL plasma. There is a different place near the college my son's going to, so we're joking with him that he'll be on that network if he wants to continue doing it, because he's doing it now too, because it's extra money. And I get, at the beginning, the sign up bonuses equated out to, for your first 8 donations within about 8 weeks, you got just over $800. After that, it's an average of $55 per donation. And then, like this month, if you do a second one in the week, your second donation is $70. So I will get about 125, is that 125? $125 a week off of my plasma. And then my husband, we go together. So we're putting $250 a week towards our vacation fund. And it's something that we just go down, and the 3 of us are doing it together. And I don't know what my son will do with his money. He can do whatever he wants, but we're taking it periodically out of, they give you like a debit card, and then you can go and use that like a debit card, but they charge a fee if you use it like that, or you can have it for free, just funnel into whatever, a checking or savings account. So we have
And
it
then when
going
you're
straight.
sitting there, you can just scroll through your phone and answer emails and what have you,
Yep.
can't you?
Yep. You just sit
Yep.
on your phone. They just ask for you to not have anything playing volume wise, not to be on the phone talking, and not to wear earbuds, and that's it. Before a donation, make sure you are not anemic, otherwise you will have
Interesting.
to buy it back. They
Yeah.
do a medical check. So every time they do a medical check, and there's certain things that will, you won't be able to donate if you have done XYZ. Like if I got a tattoo right now, it puts me on a naughty list. It's not called a naughty list, but a naughty list for 4 months, I believe. Acupuncture, piercings or tattoos. Some countries, if you go out and visit, it's just like giving blood. There's a lot of regulations because you're taking plasma out. So if you can do it, awesome. If you're not scared of needles, I could care less. Like, you can prick me all day long and I do not
Yeah.
care. It's
Well,
not that
honestly, it goes
painful.
to a great cause. I mean, you are helping
Mhm.
save people's lives. I mean, so that is something to feel good about in addition to getting paid.
Yeah. And you are paid instant. Like, the money, as soon as they scan and you're done, like, the money goes to your account, and then you could transfer that to the bank. I think the bank transfer takes a couple of days, but it is literally, you sit there and I watch TV, or I play a game, or I scroll Facebook for about 45 minutes, and then I'm done. Like, that's it. It
And
takes
hey,
about
who
an
doesn't
hour and
need
a
a
half back and
45
forth.
minute break in their life?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. They say you can't fall asleep too. Like, you're not allowed to fall asleep. But
Yeah,
I have, let's see here. Trina says, I have a husband and wife who are making $800 a month donating plasma twice a week.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, that could be 2 car payments right there, you know?
120 times 2 times 4. Yeah, we're making slightly more than that, I think, because we're making about 250 a week, and that'd be more than $800 a month.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
$800 a month is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that
No,
is straight going into my vacation account, and we are going to have a very nice vacation with it. But it could be, things always change. We're pegging it for this right now, but it's always good to kind of have an oh shit fund, is what I call it, where, you have savings for when my son got in a car accident. That was financially hard. When my RV got robbed,
attempted and
we did
broke
not
into,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, got broken into. It was $1,600 to replace a catalytic converter on the RV, and then another 600 to put a Viper alarm in. And then they came and they tried to break into it again, and they broke the mirror, and that's going to cost another like $400. I'm like, oh my god. So,
Right,
you have these life events that are just going to
right.
be financially hard, and so having a little bit of extra money never ever hurts,
No,
especially going into Q4.
yeah. And I feel like all of us sellers, we all have that hustle mentality. It like my one of my friends, her husband was a musician, and musicians are known for having many jobs. Most musicians
Mhm,
don't make a living just being a musician unless you're a famous rock star. So he had a master's degree from the university here, and piano was his instrument. So he
mhm,
played in the weekends in a band,
mhm,
here in Vegas in the night scene. And then he had students that he taught piano to at home. And then he would get side gigs, like, years ago, Barbara Streisand had came here for a New Year's Eve, and he did the rearrangement of her music. I feel like us online sellers are similar to a musician, that we have many hustles. Most of us just don't do Amazon, and maybe there are some that do. You're either doing Amazon with your full-time job, or you're doing Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Mercari. You have multiple little hustles, and that's what I love about this community is we're so resilient and so creative in finding things to sell, and it's very cool.
It is, and it's good to have a couple different options because one is not going to work. I have never met a reseller that does exactly what I do, and we all do something slightly different. Some are more towards OA, some are more towards RA, some don't have a family that they're, I don't want to say tied to, but like I see some of these guys who are single and they rent a truck and they go out sourcing for 3 days on a weekend and then come home and list it all week. Well, that's awesome. That's great for you. I could not do that. Not in my current life situation because I've got too many family obligations that need to be done. I have ran into resellers that have trouble walking or are taking care of a family member that needs medical help that they cannot go out, and so they need to learn how to do online arbitrage or wholesale and or Shopify and drop shipping. And there's just so many different options out here that you can really just have the lifestyle that you need or want and still make some money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have any other questions. What are you doing the rest of the day, Tina?
I don't know. Every part of me wants to take the rest of the day off and have just a moment of peace in my life. Lucy knows my life has been chaotic since July. And so part of me wants to do that. But knowing me, I'm probably going to work, be on the computer doing some stuff. But it is Friday. So I generally end Fridays early, call it like, my early day out, did my half day off.
Well, that is awesome. I got to be home. My friend is picking me up because my friend is traveling with me to Vegas because I have a buddy pass. And so I'm like, yo, you want to go to Vegas with me? And she's like, yeah. Cool. So she's going to go see our friend that recently moved down there, but she's going to pick me up at 3:30. So I've got from now until 3:30 to finish a long list of to-dos. And one of that is getting all my finances up to date. Yesterday was just with the garage people here, all they did was hammer and bang all day. And then every 5 minutes, my packers were like, we're out of this, we're out of that. I'm like, yeah, because I'm going out of town. That's why we're out of everything on one day. That's just Murphy's Law.
I'll be seeing you in the morning.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing those of you who are coming to ASD in person. I'm excited about that. And maybe we'll do like a quick impromptu live from ASD for those of you who can't come. Just for fun, but it can be loud.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Hear us, yeah.
I told somebody the other day we're doing some lives from there. I assumed we would.
Yeah, but it is hard to hear sometimes because the background is quite loud. And Patsy, we'll end with you. Is new to selling on Amazon and sent in very first shipment yesterday, and now you're stressing if you did it right. Yeah, sometimes I still stress like, oh crap, did I put as many in the box as I said I did? But congratulations. I'm excited for you, Patsy.
Judy says she stopped sourcing because she can't get profitable items after the Amazon fees. I'm in the negative.
Oh yeah, no, Judy.
It's definitely tough. I'm not going to lie. I have had to get creative on how to find things or make things to list. That's why we've done so many more custom bundles.
Yeah, because then you can control your price. You can price it correctly, and you don't have tankers jumping on it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yes. Tina, you're in charge of the button.
Yes. So we love you and appreciate you all. Have a great weekend and get creative out there making money. Bye.
See you Sunday night.